Hey, good morning. This is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. I talk about markets, so let's kick off. Let's get straight into it. Anything said in this piece is an opinion only. So UBS, Union Bankenschaft Schweizerin, buys out Credit Suisse. UBS is the biggest bank in Switzerland. Huge, massive bank. Buys out Credit Suisse for $3.2 billion. However, it doesn't seem to calm the markets. Excuse me. This is a real raw YouTube footage, so there's no editing, so the cough's in there. Anyhow, so they buy out Credit Suisse for $3.2 billion. It doesn't calm down markets. Markets are still fearful regarding the banking sector. Okay, so you've got two banking sectors. You've got the top layer, which people like Credit Suisse, Nomura, RBS, Barclays, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, they'll be around, they're monitored, everything's fine. Not everything's fine, but they'll get through it. However, the second tier banking, which is the high street retail banking sector, which is the one like First Republic in America, Co-America, Zions, even Credit Suisse has cash points. That is the one that is in trouble or going to be in trouble due to liquidity, okay, or lack of liquidity. There is a liquidity crisis with rising interest rates. A lot of these banks have had poor management and poor asset allocation or asset management, investment management, etc., and are suffering significant losses, whether it's in the high-tech sector or whether it's in the general stock market or just poor investment in bonds, poor loan management, and poor credit facilities. So there is a fundamental issue within the banking sector that is a problem. And now it's coming to light because rates have gone up and liquidity has become tighter. Remember, whenever money becomes tighter, it becomes more difficult to maintain your liabilities or your obligations, okay? And all banks have to maintain a degree of cash flow, whether it's 8% availability of their total asset value or 15%. Now, as banks fall in value, if the shares fall in value, then they've got to allocate essentially a greater degree of available cash in order to maintain the standards with the regulators and with the authorities. And that's also putting a lot of pressure on the banks. In addition to that, you've got a lot of customers now, a lot of depositors, a lot of account holders are looking into the credit worthiness of their particular bank to see, is this bank, can it stand up to the pressures of the present situation that we are in, which is low asset values, dropping asset values for our stock market is concerned, rising yields, and potential defaults on loans and arrangements, credit facilities, as far as the banks are concerned. So a lot of nervousness out there, a lot of fear that more banks are going to go bust. The probability is they're right. The probability is that more banks are going to go down. There's going to be a lot more mergers and acquisitions as far as banks are concerned, and the Fed, as the US, or the central banks in Europe or individual countries will have to come out and bail those individual banks to ensure that the banking system does not collapse. Now, talking about the banking system and the fear of it collapsing, for some reason, not really 100% sure, but Bitcoin, which is a high-risk asset, it's a high-risk investment, has shot up because people believe that Bitcoin or the cryptos is going to become the alternative method of payments, and it's going to change and it's going to take over the traditional bank payment system. I don't believe that's going to be the case. I don't think the central government's going to allow it. I don't think the central banks are in favor of it because they don't want to essentially devalue or deride the value or the status of their national currency, especially when we're talking about the US or Japan, Australia, Europe, and the UK, Canada, etc., etc. So you might have some African countries or some South American countries might use Bitcoin, the cryptocurrencies, as a payment method, but as far as replacing the payment method, but as far as the West is concerned, that's going to be highly unlikely. So there is talk in the media over the weekend of Bitcoin going to $250,000 a coin, $1 million a coin within 90 days. That could be the case. I mean, who knows? I don't know anything. So I'm just giving my opinion. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Bitcoin has broken above the 25,000 level and is moving up, but I can't see it going. I can't see it going to $250,000. But I could be wrong. It could be in 90 days. I could be eating my words and apologizing again for another analysis, another mistake made. Okay, remember, everything said in this piece is an opinion, so it's up to you where it goes. That's more or less it for today. I just want to talk about the banking crisis and Bitcoin. You can subscribe, share, comment. Catch you later.